Imagine a seemingly harmless group gaining entry into your child's school, promising fun activities and character development. Now envision this group gradually injecting their religious doctrines, often cloaked as moral values, into the curriculum and school policies. This, unfortunately, is not a work of fiction, but a chilling reality unfolding across various sectors of society. Extremist Christian groups, fueled by a theocratic vision, are strategically infiltrating public and private organizations, from schools and universities to government agencies and media outlets. Their aim? To reshape these institutions from within, aligning them with their divisive ideology. These groups, often operating under the guise of innocuous names and employing subtle tactics, represent a new breed of Trojan horse. They exploit democratic freedoms and institutional openness not to contribute positively, but to impose their narrow worldview. Their actions pose a significant threat, not just to the integrity of these organizations, but also to the very fabric of our pluralistic society. This quiet invasion, masked by claims of religious freedom and moral righteousness, often goes unnoticed until it has taken root, leaving behind a trail of discord and distrust. The insidious nature of this infiltration lies in its subtlety. These groups rarely announce their true intentions outright. Instead, they operate incrementally, gradually gaining influence and power through strategic placements, networking, and manipulation of policies. Their methods often involve targeting leadership positions, influencing hiring practices, and shaping organizational narratives to align with their agenda. Over time, this insidious creep can fundamentally transform the ethos of an organization, turning it into a vehicle for promoting their divisive ideology. This essay delves into the phenomenon of extremist Christian infiltration, exposing its tactics, examining real-world examples, and analyzing its impact on organizations and society at large. By understanding this shadowy movement, we can better equip ourselves to recognize the signs, resist its encroachment, and safeguard the values of inclusivity and diversity that are fundamental to a just and equitable society. Infiltration, in the context of these extremist Christian groups, signifies a calculated and methodical process of penetrating and influencing organizations from within. It's a far cry from the open practice of faith or participation in public discourse. This form of infiltration is characterized by a deliberate intent to subvert, control, or manipulate the host organization to align with their religious and political agenda. It thrives on secrecy, often operating under the radar, capitalizing on unsuspecting individuals and exploiting systemic loopholes. Their strategy hinges on a long-term vision, often spanning generations. They prioritize planting their members in key positions within organizations. This could be anything from school boards and local government committees to editorial boards of media houses and decision-making roles within corporations. Once embedded, these individuals act as agents of influence, subtly steering the organization towards their ideology. The process often begins with seemingly harmless initiatives. They might offer free programs, volunteer services, or financial contributions, all packaged to appear beneficial and community-oriented. However, these acts of apparent generosity often mask an ulterior motive, to gain a foothold and build trust within the organization. This Trojan horse approach allows them to operate unnoticed, gradually expanding their influence and control over time. The danger lies in their ability to camouflage their true intentions. They often present themselves as champions of family values, patriotism, or community spirit. This makes it challenging to differentiate between genuine concern and a calculated maneuver to further their agenda. Their tactics, often disguised as promoting morality or traditional values, can easily resonate with individuals unfamiliar with their underlying motives. This manipulative approach makes it crucial to critically examine the actions and agendas of such groups, looking beyond the surface to understand their true nature. The insidious influence of extremist Christian groups has permeated various sectors of society. Examples abound of their infiltration, often leaving behind a trail of discord and damage. One such instance is the case of a small town in Texas, where a group calling themselves Educational Citizens for Responsible Governance successfully won a majority on the local school board. This group, later revealed to have ties to a national organization known for its conservative Christian agenda, wasted no time in pushing through policy changes that raised alarm bells. The group's actions included revising the curriculum to downplay the teaching of evolution and climate change, replacing it with content aligned with their religious beliefs. Parents and teachers who voiced concerns were often ostracized or silenced, highlighting the group's intolerance towards dissenting voices. This incident serves as a stark reminder of how easily extremist groups can hijack local institutions, impacting the education and well-being of an entire community. In another chilling example, a conservative Christian organization calling themselves the Institute for Family Values managed to install several of their members in key positions within a state's Department of Health and Human Services. This seemingly innocuous name masked their true agenda to restrict access to reproductive health care and promote their views on sexuality and gender roles. Once in positions of power, these individuals began influencing policy decisions, diverting funds, and even obstructing the implementation of existing laws that clashed with their ideology. Their actions had a devastating impact on the lives of many, particularly women and LGBTQ+ individuals seeking essential healthcare services. This case underscores the far-reaching consequences of such infiltration, demonstrating how these groups can manipulate government agencies to impose their beliefs and erode the rights of others. The infiltration of government bodies, tasked with serving the needs of all citizens, represents a blatant attack on the principles of democracy and secular governance. The consequences of extremist Christian infiltration extend far beyond the immediate disruption it causes within organizations. It gradually erodes the very fabric of these institutions, impacting their culture, values, and ability to function effectively. One of the most concerning outcomes is the suppression of dissent and critical thinking. These groups, often driven by a sense of absolutism, have little tolerance for differing viewpoints. As they gain influence within an organization, they create an environment where questioning their ideology or challenging their actions becomes increasingly difficult. This stifles open dialogue and critical thinking, essential components of any healthy and productive organization. Employees or members who dare to voice concerns often face retaliation, ranging from social ostracism and professional setbacks to outright harassment and intimidation. This creates a chilling effect, silencing dissenting voices and fostering a culture of fear and self-censorship. Over time, this can lead to a decline in creativity, innovation, and the organization's ability to adapt and thrive in a diverse and changing world. The organization, once a space for collaboration and diverse perspectives, transforms into an echo chamber where only one viewpoint is tolerated. Moreover, the infiltration of extremist Christian groups has a corrosive effect on the broader societal fabric. Their divisive rhetoric, often laced with homophobia, transphobia, and xenophobia, seeps into the public discourse, fueling prejudice and discrimination. This creates a climate of fear and distrust, undermining social cohesion and eroding the values of inclusivity and respect that are fundamental to a pluralistic society.